Hi, today I'm here to talk to you about one of my favorite things in the world, and that is playing the trombone. I want to share with you some things that might help you with some of the fundamentals of producing a beautiful sound. So the first thing I do every practice session, every day, start yourself with a 45-minute, if you have the time, start yourself with a 45-minute warm-up session. It carries you through your whole day. It carries you into having great habits in your playing throughout the rest of your day. The next thing I like to do is think about my embouchure. And the embouchure is what we use to create the kind of bed for the mouthpiece, right? So it's this area in here. For me, the embouchure is, in conjunction with the air, is what creates the sound. This is the beauty of what creates the sound. The only part of your body that really should be flexed when you're playing is what I call the plate. And that's the area where I've got my facial hair here, where I've got my goatee. This area, the plate, should be nice and firm. Just like you're saying, right? Keeps the teeth a little bit apart, keeps the lips together, it keeps your cheeks from puffing. Really a great way to kind of keep everything solid the way it needs to be. But the rest of your face, the rest of your body should be nice and relaxed, nice and easy and relaxed. So I think, right? And everything in here is solid, okay? So that gives me a good place for the mouthpiece to rest. As I place the mouthpiece on, another thing I like to think about is the lower lip can take much more pressure than the upper lip. The upper lip is really, in a trombone player, where the buzz comes from. The lower lip does buzz, but the upper lip is really the reed, okay? So the more that we pinch that off with, say if we're pivoting up this way, we put more pressure on the upper lip, that's gonna give you the least amount of vibration. So making sure that you pivot down just a teeny bit so that the bulk of the pressure is on that lower lip. That's going to help a lot. Breathing is something we do 1,000 times a day. We have done it for our entire lives. It's something that we don't even have to think about typically. You may notice it when you're working out. You may notice it at times when you're scared. Your breathing changes. But for the most part, during the day, our breathing is pretty continuous. And playing the instrument really shouldn't change that very much. What does change is, because we're playing it through a mouthpiece, we're playing it through a trombone, we get some back pressure, we get some different sensations happening, so we do have to kind of account for those things. But for the most part, playing as naturally as possible is the key. One of the things I find that really helps to establish good breathing habits and good breathing patterns is this, and it's called a musician's airbag, musician's breathing bag. It's 6 liters, which is about what the average person's lung capacity is. And rubber, it is used to kind of focus in on warm, wet air. That's the key for me to a beautiful sound, is using nice, slow, warm, wet air. So this really helps with that. So what I do is keep it deflated, and I grab the end that has a little hole on it. And my teeth are going to go over the opening. Okay, so I'm actually going to have my teeth go over that opening, and that creates a really nice open area for your teeth to be, and it opens up the inside of the oral cavity. So I'll just take a normal breath in. This isn't, again, to try to show off how much breathing capacity you have. It's to, again, go for the process of breathing. So again, not to impress anybody with blowing the bag up or any of that kind of stuff. It's not a balloon. So I take in a breath. And I can really feel everything opening up inside my airstream. Everything is expanding out in all directions. So it really helps me to focus on that. And I get the feeling of what warm, wet air feels like. So that's super important. Another exercise you can do on the breathing bag is to do puffs of air, maybe 6 puffs of air. You really feel your diaphragm kicking in on this one. So I can really feel like I'm going ho, 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 ho. I can feel that warm, wet air. I can feel my diaphragm kicking in. Everything feels supported, nice and relaxed. With the breathing bag, the great thing about the breathing bag is you're not taking in new air, so you're not going to pass out. You're not going to create dizziness, any of those type of things, because you're breathing your own air back in. You don't want to do it for a super long time, because you do need to replenish your oxygen, but you can do 10 breaths in and feel really good afterwards. So it's a great way of relaxing yourself into your practice session for the day. Great way to do that. Okay, so musician's breathing bag, super important. Another thing to think about when you're expelling the air into the instrument, I like to think what I call the sigh breath. The sigh breath is a breath that you take when you sigh, all right? So let's say you just did something really difficult and maybe it didn't go as well as you want to. You're taking a math test, you're taking your driver's training, whatever you're doing, and it didn't go real well. So when you get done taking it, you've been all stressed out and you just take a breath and you sigh it out. Just like with a yawn, the sigh breath is a way to expel air and to relax the body. When you push air out, if you do that a couple of times, you could try that. When you push the air out, you'll notice that there are all these little fluctuations in the airstream. But when you do a sigh breath and you let that sigh breath out, it tends to just kind of fall out, and it's this beautiful, nice, warm, wet airstream. And that's what we're looking for. That's what's going to create that beautiful sound. It's just one big waterfall of beautiful air. That's what we're looking for. That's the magic of the sigh breath. So think about that sigh breath. So I like to think about my entire body before I go to play. I like to think, okay, relax everything. A great way to relax your body is to actually tense up all of your muscles. You can tense up your legs, you can tense up your entire body. Really tense yourself up and then let it relax. And that way you kind of feel that sensation of relaxation. So that takes care of some of the breathing aspects. Okay? So after I do the breathing bag, I go through getting myself nice and relaxed and get my warm, wet air happening. Then I go through and work on my embouchure and make sure everything is set. Everything gets set for the mouthpiece. So I like to buzz. Again, I'm thinking more pressure on the lower lip. I'm thinking less pressure on the upper lip. I've got my going, all right, nice, relaxed, warm, wet air. All right, so I'm going to play a couple. So I'm going to do a B flat, F to a low B flat. Now I'm going down in half steps. I'm thinking the air is just falling out of my body. I'm not pushing, I'm not doing anything other than just letting the body naturally expel the air as it needs to. Okay, so I might do that for a little while, just to kind of make sure everything's working. I've got my slow, warm, wet air. I've got the plate in the right place. I've got the openness inside. I'm thinking my sigh breath, thinking all those things together. Then I might start doing some back and forth lip trill type of work. If I start to feel like I'm tensing up, I'll go back to the breathing bag and I'll do a couple of puffs on this. And Again, kind of relaxes myself, brings it back in. So that might be something you want to do in between parts of your practice session, right? So if you're doing a 45-minute warm-up, you might do some breathing exercises, you might do some buzzing, you might play some long tones, and then maybe hit the bag again, hit it in between. Again, anything to help you to get rid of old habits, to remind yourself, to make it kind of stuck in your DNA that this is the way I should play. And when all this gets together, then the sound that you produce should be just a beautiful resonant sound. So again, I'm just talking about my everyday average kind of vanilla, this is a trombone sound. I'm not worried about whether it's a jazz sound, whether it's an orchestral sound, it's just kind of my everyday sound. So if everything I've done locks in, should be, and I like that sound. To me, that's a great sound. And you should like your own sound. That's one of the goals, and maybe we'll talk about that in a future video. But you should love your own sound. If you don't, you're stuck with not liking what you're doing for a long time. So love what you're doing, love what you're playing, and that's a super important part of this. So then you're going to carry that through the rest of your day. The breathing, the sigh breath, the embouchure set, all those things are going to be carried on. And pretty soon it becomes ritual. It becomes a part of your, again, part of your DNA. It becomes a part of you as a player, okay? I hope that helps. Be looking forward to some more videos. We'll get into dissecting some of these things a little bit more. But again, go play. It's the most fun thing you can do in your life. And make some great music, everybody. Thanks.